What if a mysterious ancient civilization once thrived on the coast of Peru, long before the Inca Empire, leaving behind elongated skulls, hidden necropolises, and an undeciphered legacy that still puzzles archaeologists to this day? Welcome to the story of the Paracas culture, a shadowy civilization that existed over 2,000 years ago. Who were they? Why did they practice skull elongation? And what secrets lie buried beneath the sands of the Paracas Peninsula? The story begins on the arid coastline of southern Peru, where, in the early 20th century, archaeologist Julio C. Tello made a discovery that would shake the world of pre-Columbian studies. In 1925, deep within the arid Paracas Peninsula, Tello unearthed a massive underground necropolis containing dozens of intricately wrapped mummies. These weren't ordinary burials. The bodies were placed in seated positions, wrapped in finely woven textiles, and buried with offerings that included ceramics, tools, and even food. But that was only the beginning. What truly astonished Tello, and continues to baffle experts even today, was what he found inside the skulls of many of these mummies. The skulls were elongated, not naturally but intentionally. Some were stretched so dramatically they appeared almost alien. This skull elongation wasn't the result of genetic mutation or disease, it was deliberate cranial deformation. Why would a culture go to such lengths to change the shape of their skulls? Cranial deformation was practiced in several ancient societies, including Egypt and parts of Africa, but the Paracas skulls were unique. Many were not only elongated but also significantly larger and heavier than normal human skulls. Some researchers claimed they had structural anomalies such as missing sagittal sutures or larger cranial volumes. These features sparked wild theories. Some claimed these skulls were evidence of an alien hybrid race. Others believed they were a lost lineage of advanced humans. But, mainstream archaeology provided a more grounded explanation. The deformation was cultural, achieved by binding the skulls of infants during their early years of growth. This reshaped their heads over time. Still, the question lingers, why? Was it a symbol of nobility, a rite of passage, a connection to the spiritual world, or something else entirely? The Paracas people left no written language to explain their practices. No recorded myths, no stone temples covered in glyphs. Instead, they communicated through art, especially textiles. And these textiles may hold some of the most stunning and enigmatic messages of any ancient culture in South America. Some of the textiles found in Paracas tombs are among the most complex and colorful ever discovered. Rich in iconography, these fabrics feature figures with elaborate headdresses, creatures with wings, and humanoid beings surrounded by mysterious symbols. Were these mere decorations, or were they telling stories, histories, cosmologies, or prophecies that we simply can't interpret today? These textiles weren't just ceremonial. They were also status symbols. Some were made with alpaca or vicuna wool, dyed using sophisticated natural pigments, and woven with such precision that they still retain their color more than 2 millennia later. Another mystery lies in how the Paracas people managed to thrive in such an unforgiving landscape. The Paracas Peninsula is dry, nearly desert-like, yet the Paracas culture developed advanced irrigation systems to support agriculture. They cultivated cotton, maize, beans, and fruits, and they fished the rich Pacific waters. Their ingenuity wasn't limited to agriculture. The Paracas also practiced complex medical procedures, most notably trepanation. This involved drilling or cutting holes into the human skull to relieve pressure or treat head injuries. What's truly remarkable is that many patients survived these operations. The survival rate is evident in the signs of bone regrowth found in the excavated skulls. But even with such advances in medicine, artistry, and engineering, the Paracas culture eventually vanished. By around 200 BCE, the Paracas had either disappeared or been absorbed by the Nazca people, the same civilization that created the world-famous Nazca lines. But did the Paracas influence these geoglyphs? Some researchers believe so. There's evidence that some of the early Nazca ceremonial practices were inherited from Paracas traditions. Even some of the figures in Nazca art resemble those seen in Paracas textiles. Then, there's the DNA question. In recent years, some private researchers and fringe theorists have attempted to extract DNA from the Paracas skulls. They claim that preliminary tests show anomalies, mitochondrial DNA that apparently does not match any known Native American group. However, these results are widely disputed, and honestly, most mainstream scientists criticize the methodology and the lack of peer-reviewed publication. The truth is, we still don't fully understand who the Paracas people were. They left behind no monuments like the Egyptians, no pyramids like the Maya, no codices like the Aztecs. But what they did leave behind, textiles, skulls, and burial chambers, paints the picture of a sophisticated, deeply spiritual, and enigmatic society. A society that saw the human head not just as a body part but perhaps as a symbol of identity, status, or connection to the divine. As we examine these strange, elongated skulls and wonder about the purpose behind their deformation, as we unravel their woven masterpieces and try to decode their symbols, as we dig deeper into the dry sands of Peru's coastline, we're left with more questions than answers. Why did this culture suddenly disappear? What hidden knowledge might still lie buried beneath the earth? And most haunting of all, what exactly did the Paracas leave behind? The Paracas mystery remains unsolved. And maybe, just maybe, that's the way they intended it.